I still think So Help Me God would have been the best title for this one, but at least he didn't go with Waves. Although he did get Max B on here to represent for the Wave, so that was pretty cool to bring him on for the Silver Surfer intermission, but I also hope that he sent him some Zuzus and Wham Whams. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And what I have for you today is the long-awaited review for the long-awaited album from Kanye West, The Life of Pablo. It's finally here after a lot of fuckery with the track list, features, release date, album covers, etc., etc. So let's just jump right into it, and I'm going to start off by going over some of the songs that we're already familiar with. Now, 30 Hours, Real Friends, and No More Parties in LA are three of my favorite tracks on here, so you can check my track reviews for those because I've already reviewed them since they dropped over the past month or so. And it's the same thing with the song Facts. Not that it's one of my favorite tracks, it's actually one of my least favorite tracks, but what I mean is that I reviewed that one as well because that came out at the top of the year. But the difference is the album version has a beat switch up, so it does make it a little bit better, but I still don't like this song very much, and it's not a personal favorite of mine. So I'll post all these reviews at the top of the comment section or something like that. Now, Wolves also came out quite a while ago, but just like Facts, this one is different too, the one on the album, because instead of Sia and Vic Mensa being on here, we get Frank Ocean. And I didn't like the song when it came out, and I still don't like it now. I actually didn't do a review for it, but it wasn't one that I was big on because it's pretty much just Kanye on his robotic shit for the first verse over this nice haunting production, so it does have a bit of a cool sound, and then he raps a little bit about his relationship with Kim on the second verse, but it's not a song that I was personally big on. But let's get into all these new songs that make up the album that, that's why you guys are here, for this album review. It all starts off with the song Ultralight Beam, where we get this slow building gospel feel, and it also has a choir throughout it and a prayer from Kirk Franklin. But it's Chance the Rapper who steals the show here because his verse is just loaded with quotables, whether he's referencing Arthur the Aardvark or talking about how he treats demons just like Martin treats Pam. So if you're not familiar with that line, what he's talking about is Martin in the sitcom Martin and Gina's friend Pam, because he did not fuck with her at all. And this isn't a song that I would personally come back to and listen to a lot because I'm not big on the whole gospel sound, but I do like how he put it together, and it is a very nice track. And you're going to get some other religious themes throughout this album as well. Like on the song Low Lights, where we get a little bit of a sermon, and then that leads into the song Highlights, which is an auto-crooning duet between Kanye and Young Thug, which on paper, that doesn't sound like something that I would enjoy very much, and I think other people, just hearing that, probably wouldn't enjoy it very much. But I actually like this one, and it's one of my favorite tracks on the album, because it has a very fun and inspirational feel to it. And not only that, but Kanye is on this song with some hilarious, memorable lines, like when he says that Blac Chyna is fucking Rob Kardashian to help him with the weight, and that he and Ray J could probably be friends if they didn't like the same bitch. So Kanye is clearly on his funny shit all over this album, including on the song Famous, which is produced by Swizz Beatz and featuring Rihanna, where he has that infamous line about how he thinks he could probably fuck Taylor Swift because he made her famous. And then on Father Stretch My Hands Part 1, he draws a parallel between a bleached asshole and between getting bleach onto one of his shirts. So he doesn't have any problem coming with that funny shit, just like Kanye always does. And Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 is actually one of my favorite tracks on here. Again, it has a very fun and inspirational type of vibe to it, kind of like Highlights. And I like how it had Kid Cudi on here singing like that old school Kid Cudi. He's not in here doing that awful Kurt Cobain type of shit. But on the flip side, Father Stretch My Hands Part 2 is one of my least favorite tracks because this is basically just Kanye putting a verse on Designer's song Panda. And Designer just sounds a bit like a Future knockoff to me, so there was nothing that was overly memorable about that track. And since we're on the topic of my least favorites, I'd also throw in Waves featuring Chris Brown, because that just kind of sounded like a mediocre Chris Brown track to me. And I also didn't like Freestyle 4 because of the echoey vocals and rambling verse, and Feedback just sounded like some Yeezus leftovers for me. So these are some of the tracks on here that I didn't really care for. But overall, I think Kanye did a pretty good job of bringing all of his sounds together onto this project. I mean, it's not overly cohesive, and actually one of my biggest gripes with this album is that it's 18 tracks in under an hour, and I had to do a lot of skipping just to get to the songs that I like, because there's a lot of songs on here that I don't like at all and don't see growing on me, and then there's a couple of tracks that they're not bad, they're just not for me. Songs like Ultralight Beam, also FML featuring The Weeknd, where we get this dreary production and Kanye rapping more about his relationship with Kim. And Fade is an alright track too, it's just kind of fun and funky with Ty Dolla $ign and Post Malone doing their thing. But those 3 tracks, I mean, they're not anything that I'm going to go out of my way to listen to, but they're alright. And as far as I'm concerned, I think this is one of Kanye's worst albums, and he's put out a lot of albums, so just let me explain that before some of you who love this album get overly upset. I think this is better than Yeezus and 808s, but I still think that Yeezus, 808s, and this album would be at the bottom of my personal list, how I feel in regards to Kanye's albums. Because I just like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, College Dropout, Graduation, and Late Registration much more than all 3 of those albums. And Watch the Throne, I'm not really counting that one since that was with Jay-Z, but that would be somewhere near the bottom as well, I think. So I give this one a 3 out of 5. I almost went with a 3.5, but honestly I kind of felt like I was forcing myself to really enjoy this and to give it a 3.5 out of 5 because we've been waiting for this and it's Kanye West, but that's not how I work, man. I gotta rate the album for what I feel and what I think it is, and I feel a 3 out of 5 on this one. I'll keep 4 or 5 songs, but the rest of it just really wasn't for me. I think it would have been a lot better if he had shaved some of these tracks off and maybe jumbled the track list a bit, but hopefully he doesn't hear that because then he's gonna go back and change the shit again, god damn it. Not that he'd listen to me, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just playing around. But anyway, I look forward to hearing what you all think about this one, so let me know in the comment section what you think, and I want to see you guys rank Kanye's albums in order. You don't have to include Watch the Throne, because it is with Jay-Z, but you can do that if you want to. And make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, man, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.